angels, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Celia. I'm a 6-2 projector, an earth angel, here to be part of creating heaven on earth. And today we're going to dive into one of my absolute favorite topics of all time, which is eternal life. To compare long story short, I am here to be part of creating an immortal true society, a society where every single soul and being can thrive and prosper in sovereignty and live the life that they desire to live on their own terms, in harmony with everybody else. And I believe that by 2050, more or less, we could actually have a commonly worldwide known society based on immortality and eternal life. Of course, with everyone with their free will deciding, what they want to do, but with this being in the open as common knowledge. I still personally, disclaimer, have a lot of work to do to get there, and I also know that there are, a lot of humans at this point who already have achieved eternal life. There are humans on this planet who have lived for thousands of years, but they're not in the open because collectively we still need to get ready for this. We still have a lot of work to do to get there. And what I want to do in today's video is talk a little bit about some of the common misconceptions and common questions I get when it comes to eternal life. It is by all means probably the biggest misconceptions that I see collectively are around eternal life, because we have been raised in a society and within lineages that have very strong ideas about how long we can live, what life is really meant to be. And for instance, one of the most common misconceptions I hear is like, why would you want to live forever? Why would you do that? Life is not even that fun. Or why would you just, get really old and keep aging and, lose your health and live 1,000 years like that? And so I would like to just share, or debunk a little bit that myth, because you can see that this is because it comes from the same level of thinking. One of the premises of eternal life and creating eternal life is absolutely that you are so in love with life. You are so in love with life so that you want to live forever. If you are in a place or a stage where you do not love life, that means there's some work to do within you. That means there's some blocks that are holding you back. Maybe there's some past life traumas. Maybe there's some ancestral traumas. There's something that's not allowing for your soul to fully express itself to its fullness. And that can cause this feeling of, oof, life is not very fun, or oof, life is not very nice. But I want you to know that it is not meant to be that way. You are meant to live in complete bliss and ecstasy for this life. And I can tell you wholeheartedly that I love this life so much. I want to live forever because I have so many things I want to do. I have so many dance styles I want to learn that I need at least 1,000 years, and I'm excited about it. I want to live forever because I love this life. I love this planet. And, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, I don't know how many years, maybe there's a point where you're like, okay, I feel like I had enough of this place, then you can consciously leave, but without the whole suffering and, actually dying because you're sick or whatever it is, but like consciously leaving your body. It's not like you will be imprisoned to be here. There are lots of other planets to see. Maybe we'll even be able to evolve so that we can travel to those planets within our body or within our soul. Who knows? There's so much that could come out, right? And also the second misconception of then like continuously aging and getting sick, of course that is not going to happen if you choose eternal life, because one of the premises of eternal life is liberty. And liberty means that you have complete freedom to choose how you want your life to be. So you could look forever 20 if that's what you wanted to. Most immortals, what they end up doing is shape-shifting a lot. So there may be a moment you will choose to look 20, there may be a moment you will choose to look 60, depending on what the moment calls for, but you will have the complete liberty to shape-shift and look exactly the way you want. And also, so aging is a disease. Aging is not natural. It may be normal, but it's not natural. We already know that aging is a disease. So aging has nothing to do with eternal life. And if you activate those DNA strands within your body, aging is not going to happen. In fact, it's quite biologically known that there is it shouldn't really happen, because every 7 years, every part of our body, every single cell has been renewed. Every single cell. There are elements where we start to read the DNA wrong, and as the cells start reproducing, we start reproducing them in faulty ways, where aging is involved, and that's where we start to see wrinkles, we start to see gray hairs and all these kind of things, and we start to have, you know, health malfunctions, so to say. So that is because there is a malfunction in the reading and the reproduction of the cells and the DNA, not because it's natural. And if you're more curious to know more about this, there is an actual book called Aging is a Disease that I highly recommend, which is way better at explaining scientifically what I just tried to. And also the book How Not to Die is a very good one from Dr. Michael Greger. So those are two of the most common misconceptions, like why would you live forever and why would you do that if you have to age? Well, none of them would be valid, because when you create eternal life, you will be in that state of bliss and ecstasy and complete love of life. And that's actually like a core element of creating eternal life. You cannot create eternal life if there's a part of you that wishes yourself out of this life. You just can't. Because that's, you know, you need to be all in on it. You are the creative one, so you're the one that chooses. You need to be all in on it. So that's actually not just a misconception, but it's like a prerequisite for the creation of eternal life. And that's why we want to do the work to clear whatever blocks, distortions, misconceptions, whatever it might be inside of you that's not allowing for you to be fully present with life. Because that love and gratitude of life is actually just a full presence of what is there in this moment. And in order to create eternal life, you need to create that full presence from within. And that's a healing work, and that's the kind of work, you know, I do with my clients inside of my containers. And another misconception is, oh, if everyone chooses eternal life, we will be overpopulated, there will be too many people on the planet. Okay, let's look at it like this. Firstly, we actually already know that we could be 10 times as many people than we are right now. Shown by Buckminster Fuller, he was able to show us how we could create housing for 10 times as many people than we are now, in a way that's sustainable and in a way that has enough food and housing for every single person on this planet. Secondly, immortalists are actually very selective with having children. And they don't have usually children in the rate that most people do. In fact, it's very rare for someone who's immortal to choose to have children. So we will probably see the population go down, if anything. And also, birth will be something way more sacred. Nowadays, a lot of people have children from trauma. And because they're trying to pass on the karma they don't want to deal with, they just pass it on to their offspring. When you create eternal life, you have a whole different respect for life. And you will only actually choose to have children if that's like the most divinely aligned thing for you in every single way. So that is also just a misconception that's not valid for anything. Immortalists are also very advanced when it comes to nutrition and what they eat. Most of the time, actually, they don't need necessarily to sustain themselves through continuous physical food. Many of them choose to for fun, for entertainment, but it's not going to be that same level of overindulgence that most people in the Western world live by. And also, everyone who's immortal for sure are vegan, because you cannot create eternal life if it depends on taking the life of another being. So that will also change the whole, you know, biosystem, and we won't have this problem with all the animal farming that we see nowadays. And another concept of eternal life is also, the most important thing is just to recognize that it really comes down to complete freedom and complete liberty, which means every part of your life that feels imprisoning or that somehow feels like limiting, that would have to be resolved in order for you to create eternal life. Which is the, you know, the beautiful part of this is it is a life of complete liberty. So I could talk about this a lot more. I just wanted to give you a little taste sample. I've been into this eternal life creation for over a decade. I've kept it quiet for most of the time because I knew most people not at all would be able to receive it. I see that there's an opening that's starting to happen in the collective, and I'm being called to finally talk more about this and to bring it out in the open. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I have a lot of work to do on this, for sure. I'm on the journey with you. But I also know what is my goal and what it is I'm working towards, and I'm willing to do what it takes. And that's also for that reason that I'm creating an Eternal Life School, Eternal Life Activation Program, that I'm very, very excited to bring forward. For now, only a very select few people know about it, and I have already my clients in there. And I don't have right now open spaces for other people to join, because this is a very exclusive program that I want only clients that I know very well to join. But if you're curious on this topic, please subscribe and stay tuned, because I'm going to do a masterclass next year on this topic, where we're going to be diving deeper into this. And I can't wait for you to come along, because we have a beautiful revolution that's happening on the collective scale, and you're meant to be part of it, otherwise you wouldn't see this video. And if you're seeing this video, there's probably also part of you that deeply resonates with this topic. And so I invite you to explore it. Come join the channel here, come join the world. I have a free Heaven on Earth movement that you can join below on Telegram as well, where we're going to dive also into this topic a little bit more deeply. And I'm here to create Heaven on Earth with you. I want everyone to come along. I want everyone to come along. If I could choose, I want everyone to come along. I hope that's what we're going to create. Of course, that's not entirely up to me, but I will do my part in it. And of course, only everyone will come along if that's what serves the highest good of everyone. So, love having you here. Hope you like this content. Let me know in the comments below, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.